Hey everyone, Dan Alessi back for another Disney dining review.
Today I'm excited, we're headed somewhere new. So this is the brand new GEO-82 lounge that has opened at Epcot.
I'm really excited. We've been gone the last 2 weeks and we have not really seen any reviews yet. One of our great friends just went yesterday and she absolutely loved it or seemed to. So I'm excited to go and see what it's all about.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of pictures, which it looked really pretty. So I'm excited to see it in real life. But about that, that's about all I've seen or heard and just her praise. But yeah, so they have some small bites, which look very intriguing. There's like a charcuterie, there's a cannellini hummus, a fungi flatbread, a truffled ahi tuna, and jumbo lump crab gâteau. But the cocktails here is where it's going to get very challenging because there are some yummy ones. So
I have yet to look at the menu. Do they have an old fashioned?
Oh yes, they do.
Do they have more than one?
They have a brown butter old fashioned.
Oh,
so
yes, please.
That sounds really good. But there's a caramelized leek martini, which I love dirty martinis, so that sounds intriguing. But there's a strawberry coconut right hand. I don't know. It's gonna take me 20 years to figure out what I'm gonna have a drink.
Well, this place is very, very popular. So just opened for reservations not that long ago, just opened for service last week before. Yeah. We've been in Alaska, time is all jumbled up. So we've had these reservations since they got released. We've been looking forward to it. There's a time limit here, I believe currently it is 75 minutes. So similar to like when Oga's Cantina first opened, time limit. They still have a time limit,
They still have a time limit.
Anyway, forget August. But it makes sense because they don't want people to come in there and just camp out for hours and hours and hours. So it gives the rest of the guests opportunities to.
Well, they have a great perk of fireworks viewing. Right. But that's what I'm saying. Like, they don't want people camping out for hours and hours and like taking a spot that people could use for fireworks viewing.
Sure. So it appears that to get to the fireworks viewing, you have to reserve their special fireworks viewing package, which you get seated by the windows, from what I understand. Obviously, we haven't done it. How much is that?
It's a lot, I can tell you. It is $179 per person plus tax. So it comes with a little hefty price tag to be able to stay there for the fireworks experience.
So we have not signed up for that one. However, if we do have a good experience today, that may be next on the list. We will see. So I'm excited. Are you ready to go?
Yes.
Let's do this. We have arrived. I, of course, got the brown butter old fashioned. This is their signature cocktail old fashioned here. Not only does it come with one large cube, it comes with a one large cube that has a stamp of the geodesic sphere that defines Spaceship Earth on top of it, which, I mean, that's a pretty cool presentation. Let's see. She said that it should remind you of Caramel Kucha in Germany, so the Werther store in Germany. It is pretty bourbon forward. I do get the brown butter aspect of that. Not overly sweet, pretty well balanced. It's a $28 old fashioned, so it's not cheap, but it's also a pretty decent old fashioned. I'm gonna let that ice melt just a little bit, and then I do have an orange peel that she said let the ice melt just a little bit, and then rub the orange peel on the rim, and it kind of changes the flavor of the profile of the drink. So I'm not mad.
And I got the strawberry and coconut right hand. She said it's very spirit forward with like hints of the strawberry and coconut, but has like a softness to the mouth because it's coconut wash. It does come with one large cube as well. Mine does not have a geodesic beer in it, but it's still pretty. Okay, that's good. It has a little more fruitiness to it than I expected. Not overly sweet though. She's right. There is a lot of spirit forwardness to it, but that's a nice. I feel like that's a nice balanced drink. We got several little bites. The first of which is the truffled ahi tuna. So this comes with a ponzu sauce that is made in-house. It's from an aged barrel. So it looks delicious. The flavors are fantastic. Very, very good.
Wow. So the most expensive thing on the menu is the charcuterie board, and I understand why, because this is huge. This is one of the better looking charcuteries that we have ordered on Disney property. 3 different types of meat, 3 different types of cheeses, homemade pickles, apparently the chef's grandmother's recipe, and then several different types of bread, crostini type situations, a peach preserve, and a honeycomb with honey in there. It looks great. Iberico ham, Wagyu something. I'm ready. Let's dive in. Finally, we got the fungi flatbread. So, some sort of mushroom situation going on here. Super small. Really, really flavorful. That's good.
All right, we are going to chow down, finish up our drinks, and we will finish this up at home.
All right, we are back.
Before we get into this, if you are looking to plan your next magical vacation, please reach out to us over at Fantastical Vacations. We plan Disney destinations, Universal Cruise Lines, and all-inclusive resorts.
GEO-82 did not disappoint. I actually enjoyed it very much.
I did too.
I think the problem is going to be getting reservations. They are a little, they're popular right now. It's a brand new space. Before we get into our review, let's talk about that fireworks experience. Yes. $179 per person. $179 per person. Not inexpensive.
No, it's not. However, I did ask our server about it. I said, can you give me a little bit more information, like what all it includes and such? And she said that it comes with a tower, which I knew, so a tower of savory items. She said some of the savory items on the tower are exclusive to that experience, so you can't order it off the menu. And then it also comes with a plate of sweet treats, and then you're greeted with a champagne that has never been served tableside at Disney ever. And so it's fancy champagne.
Fancy.
And she said you could basically keep your drink filled all night long. Like, it's unlimited. There are also 2 event-specific cocktails. There is an old fashioned that's special just to that event, and then there is a margarita that's special just to that event. And same thing, you can keep your drink filled basically the entire evening. So there are 7 tables that have this experience, and so it's pretty intimate experience from what it sounds like as well.
They said they dim the lights, they pipe in the music, and then you can of course see the fireworks. You get there an hour before the fireworks start, and then you obviously watch through the fireworks, and then I'm assuming they want you to leave as soon as the fireworks are over. So I'm assuming, so there is currently a 75-minute time limit if you're just making a reservation. I assume that's pretty similar. If you're getting there an hour before fireworks, that's about the same length of time. And I don't know, I mean, $179, that's a lot. The view for me, I mean, I haven't seen fireworks from that space, but just looking out of the park, because it's mostly like trees, you can like see through the trees to the American Adventure way back there in the back. So I'm sure you can see the fireworks above the trees, but it's not gonna be as good, I think, of a view of just standing right up next to the lagoon personally, but...
I mean, it's definitely a steep price tag, so I think that worth it is gonna definitely be individualized on if it's worth it for you. I think if you have a family of 8 that you're paying for, maybe not, but...
Well, that's true. What I'm talking about, like if you take the price, because all the cocktails in there, I think the cheapest cocktail is like $23, right? So my old fashioned was $28. So if you can get 3 old fashions in a 75-minute period and a glass of champagne, that's $100 right there at least. And then you got snacks plus a private fireworks view. Like, I don't know, like it's still a lot to swallow. Like
It is.
$180 a person is still a lot to swallow. So just for for this review, before we get into it, we paid $151 and change for the 3 bites, the 2 drinks, and a gratuity at the end. So if gauge it off of that. So we were there a little over an hour, not to the 75 minutes, but like 65, 68 minutes, something like that. I enjoyed my time there. I didn't feel like I needed another $28 old fashioned. It was good what we had, but $151 versus $360. I don't know.
I don't know either. So let's talk about our experience.
Yes.
Let's rate ambiance and theming first. As far as the design in there went, they did a spectacular job. They really leaned into the geodesic sphere.
Yeah.
And even the lights they look almost like dandelions, but kind of that geodesic-ish look. It was really nice.
Everything is either a sphere or triangles, which are the components of a geodesic sphere, or like a geodesic sphere, right? So like it's all themed like soup. Even the ice cube has a stamp of a geodesic sphere on top of it. Like it is very well themed, I thought.
Yeah.
The ambiance was okay. It was a bit loud in there, if you could tell. Sorry. But it was not overly crowded. It wasn't like Oga's Cantina, right?
No.
Everybody had a chair, which is nice. I could hear Leslie talk. We could video a little bit in there.
Yeah.
And they do have those nice sweeping views of Epcot, and at the end, at the end of the night, the fireworks. So, I think it was pretty good, honestly. We rated ambiance and theming a 4.5.
Yeah, it was really great. Let's talk about service. So our server was great. She did a wonderful job. She was very helpful in the description of the different drinks, on deciding what to do. I did like that there was like an added piece of the menu whenever you open it up that's not on the online menu, that kind of gives the overall feel of the drink, like a little bold line that tells like kind of its character. But then she took it one step further. I asked about 3 separate drinks, and she really went into kind of detail of describing like how it feels in your mouth and why it's that way, and the fruit forward or spirit forward or whatnot, like things that you really kind of want to know whenever you're ordering a cocktail. Not just a lot of times whenever I ask about a cocktail, they'll say, well, do you like sweet drinks? And if I'm like, no, not really, they're like, oh, then I would avoid this one, but they don't. I don't know. She just was very descriptive, which was very helpful.
Yeah, I appreciated, like, as we were leaving, no less than 5 cast members asked us how our experience was or thanked us for coming in. So that was nice. It's like everyone we passed was like, oh, thanks so much for joining us. Did you have a good time? How was it?
Yeah.
Which that's like the level of service, that you expect going to Disney World. Like happy cast members, happy to be there and welcoming, like proud to show off their space and everything. So while it wasn't just crazy over the top, it was really solid, definitely above average. We gave service a 4.
Yep, drinks. So the drinks were great. The 2 we had, I am excited to try more drinks on that menu, but we just wanted 1 each today, because they are pretty strong drinks, which I think
They should be for $28.
Yeah, which I appreciate. If I'm spending that much money for a drink, that I'm not, feeling the need to order more and more and more. So I think that kind of leans into how we rated them as well.
Personally, my brown butter old fashioned, not my favorite old fashioned on property, and it was $28. So that brought it down just a little bit, but it was a solid drink. It was pretty well balanced. I prefer maybe just a touch more sweetness in my old fashions, but I could definitely taste the brown butter. So you did kind of have that Werther's like reminiscent, like kind of flavor profile in there. I appreciate that it was served tableside. I appreciate the 1 large cube with the stamp of the geodesic sphere in there. I appreciate the overall menu, like inventive drinks. Like you're taking almost too inventive, right? So almost like trying to put too much into each cocktail.
Very inventive drinks, very have a lot of depth to them, I suppose. So we gave drinks a 4.
Let's talk about food. Not a huge menu. There were 5 things. We got 3 of them, right? Yeah. So we didn't get the crab cake, and we didn't get, what was the other thing we didn't get?
The hummus.
The hummus. So we won't speak to those, but the 3 we did were very good. A little overpriced, but very good. So the flatbread was $15, and it was very tasty. Also for very small pieces of pizza.
Yes.
So the flatbread itself, The whole thing, $15, about like that. I joked that we could get 2 Domino's pizzas for about $15, which is true. But the flavors were very, very good. You definitely got that mushroom truffle. It's like a truffle cream sauce on there. So it was good. It was well cooked. I have no complaints about the flavor profile on that flatbread. Just, maybe not the cheapest flatbread in the world.
Yeah, and the tuna, I probably would not get the tuna again. It was fine, it was cooked well, it was nice flavor and fresh and all of that, but just for the size of it and the cost, it just wasn't, the value wasn't there. However, the charcuterie, that was $29, which is pretty steep price for charcuterie, but it was pretty expansive. And one thing we both noted that we really appreciated was the number of pieces of bread that we received on the charcuterie. A lot of times when you get it, you get like one piece of bread and you're like, well, that's not gonna do it. Like, so.
We were actually talking about should we get the charcuterie before we ordered, and your point was, well, what are they gonna do with charcuterie? It's just cheese and bread.
That's true.
But actually they did, it was pretty, like the pickles were the chef's grandmother's recipe, so they're homemade pickles by the chef.
That she makes at her bed and breakfast or something?
Something like that. And then like the 3 different hams and the 3 different cheeses, the cheeses were very good cheeses.
Yes, they were.
It was a really well done charcuterie.
And the peach chutney was made in-house, and the honey is Florida, like from Florida. So yeah, it was a good charcuterie. I definitely recommend that.
Hi.
Hey, sister.
She missed everyone.
Did you miss everybody on the video? So all in all, we gave food a 4.
So if you add all that up, divide by 4, it is a 4.125, and I think that is right on for this experience. It is a very well done lounge. So I like most lounges on property, minus Oga's Cantina, but most lounges on property I really do appreciate. I appreciate this one very much. I don't appreciate that you have to make a reservation 60 days in advance or you're not getting in. And
that's true.
I don't appreciate, I do and I don't. I don't appreciate getting rushed so that there is a 75-minute time cap, but it was plenty of time for us. And I do appreciate that it's so popular that they want the maximum number of people to get the experience as possible. So I do appreciate that aspect of it.
Something to note is that we did confirm that it is 21 and above. So that is for all, like during the day and the nighttime experience, everything is 21 and above. So it's not just adult being 18 plus, it is definitely a 21 plus establishment.
What you doing, sis?
Making a bed. All right, well, if you are liking these videos, please hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss the next one.
And we will see you on the next video. Bye.